All right, so now we're getting to the actual cutting part of this lesson. And so the technique that we like to use a lot of times for cutting most foods is actually called the rolling technique. So this rolling technique allows you to cut efficiently, and then as you develop it, also quickly. So this technique isn't kind of that traditional up and down chopping motion, because that's not quite as efficient, but nor is it the, kind of keeping the tip of the blade on the cutting board and doing something like this. It actually, what happens in this is it's very rhythmic, and so it allows you kind of go back and forth, and it allows the blade to do most of the work. So I'm going to do kind of different angles here, and use celery as an example. But with this, we're going to kind of start from this angle, and you can see as I go, I'm going to have the tip of the blade, the tip of the blade pointed like this, and then we're going to come down, slide through, and come back. Down, slide through, and come back. Down, slide through, and come back. Now I'll switch so that you can see it from the other way. So starting off, and then we're going to come down, slide through, and come back. Now celery is a great vegetable to use for practicing because it's inexpensive, and pretty easy to chop and learn for. So you can definitely do different sizes and different things like that. The other key component to when you're chopping is making sure you have your other hand or your guide hand under control, for lack of a better phrase. And so with that, what we want to do is we don't want to have our fingers, while it's going to be anchoring the celery, we don't want to have our fingers kind of out like this because it's putting them at risk for injury. What we want to do is actually tuck them under, kind of more like a claw to a degree. So we're going to have it tucked under, so that the tips of our fingers aren't at risk for being cut. In addition to that, you can even use the knuckles of your finger as kind of a guide as you're chopping. Some people like to keep them tight with the blade like this and then slowly move back. Some people just prefer to have it anchored with everything curled down. Is kind of whichever works best for you and what you're doing. So you can see as I'm chopping, I'm going to kind of use this and just slowly move back as I get closer to that guide hand. So we'll move on. Just let me get set up for the next thing, and we will go from there.